Welcome, fellow sorcerers, wizards, and gurus to my channel. I'm Dan Spencer, and I am the Audio Sorcerer. So this is a channel to teach you FHR recording, mixing, and mastering skills. So in today's video, we're talking about the Cinematic Soft Piano by Spitfire Audio. This is a virtual instrument. And in this video, I'm going to teach you all the different parameters that exist in this plugin, how to use them, and I'm going to show you towards the middle end 5 different presets in there, how they sound on a piano track I recorded, along with the bonus sixth, which is a modification on the presets I did, along with some actual mixing of the piano, so you can hear what it would sound like in a more finished scenario. So before we get to video, I do want to remind you guys that I offer mixing mastering services. If you go to audiosorcerer.com, you can check out my samples and my rates, and I go 10% off to new customers. If you guys end up liking this video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell to know when I have new videos coming out. So with that being said, let's get to this tutorial. Alright, so here we are in Pro Tools, and today we are talking about the Cinematic Soft Piano by Spitfire Audio. So in this video, I'm going to give you a full tutorial and review on this plugin. I'm going to show you how to use it, and I'm also going to let you hear what it sounds like under several different scenarios. So first, let's actually launch the plugin here. Alright, so this is the user interface for the Cinematic Soft Piano. So looking on our top left over here, this LED right here, this will show you whether an instrument is loaded or not. If it's green, that's good. If it's flashing, that means the instrument is not loaded yet. This is your CPU usage. This is your disk usage. This is your memory here. This is telling you how much actual RAM that this plugin is using on your computer. This is how many voices are active at any time. And here we have the refresh button, which is great for if you have any hanging MIDI notes. I'm sure you guys have experienced when you stop playing a track, some of the MIDI stuff continues to play. If you press this, this will stop any overhanging notes. And then over here you can select which MIDI channel will control this plugin. In most situations for myself, I just leave it on any. Then you have the tune knob here. You can tune this up or down. You have the pan knob. And then you have the volume knob, which this is going to be output volume. And then these 3 dots here will open up a window. And this window basically is related to velocity responses. There are 4 different velocity responses in here, and that has to do with suiting the particular MIDI controller you have. And there's also some MIDI mapping you can do within here. This is not stuff we're going to go over this tutorial, but just know that it exists right here. And then over here in your settings tab, let's crank that open. And in this general tab here, you have an option to copy your settings to other Spitfire products. And then in the interface tab here, this basically allows you to change how the actual graphical interface looks for this plugin to some extent. A couple different options in there. And then for audio, this allows you to put in your maximum voices, preload size, stream buffer size, master tuning, default stereo options. This is all stuff I'm just telling you, but you can leave this pretty much on the default, so don't worry about this. And then for the plugin here, this tells you what your default preset is when you launch the plugin. And then you have the About tab up here, which just gives you some information on the plugin, and then Spitfire Audio in general. This is kind of cool, so you can actually go launch your quick start guide and stuff like that. So we will close out of this. In the middle top here, we have our presets. If you hit this down arrow, you can see that it comes with 5 different presets. You have Intimate, Upfront, 50/50, Afterglow, and Washed Out. And we're actually going to get back to those later in this tutorial. So let me close out of this. And then here on the right side, we have these 2 arrows here, which allow you to collapse or expand this bottom part. It's a little toggle button. And that is pretty much all the stuff in this plugin that is not related to the sound. Now we're going to get to all the controls down here that allow us to fine-tune the tonal qualities and the space of this piano. So starting with this fader here, this is the volume fader, and this control is basically used to adjust the level of the technique. That's how they describe it. The fader next to it here, this controls your velocity. So they describe it as a compressor basically. This is going to affect how hard you're actually pressing the keys when you're playing the piano. And then this rotary knob here allows you to click in the center, and you can assign reverb tightness, hammers, pedal to this fader here. So all it does is it syncs up with these bottom ones down here depending on what you have assigned to it. So this is currently on reverb, so if I move this, this is going to move here, as you can see. Pretty obvious. So, I mean, that's it for this knob here. If we go down to here, this is considered the mixer section. You could actually recall mixer presets and save mixer presets down here. So you can have these be separate as opposed to saving the whole thing as a preset, just so you're aware of that. So these faders down here allow you to create the overall blend of microphones for this piano. So the close fader here is described as a trio of valve microphones placed close to the hammers for detail and intimacy. So that's going to give you more of an upfront sound of the piano. And then the mix fader here is a mix of tree and ambient arrays capturing the resonance of Air Lyndhurst Hall. So this is going to be a nice room sound for the piano here. And then the pad here, this is the piano basically being passed through magnetic tape and external effects to create this unearthly texture. It kind of sounds like a pad behind the piano, but a really cool sounding pad, and you guys could hear what that sounds like. And then you have the option below to turn on and off each of these faders. And over here to the right are our last four parameters here. Reverb being pretty self-explanatory. This is how much reverb will be on the piano, how much space. And then for tightness, this actually isn't all that straightforward. It's described as this cuts further into the note to make it tighter. A lower value, it allows more of the mechanical noises of the piano to be heard. So if you put this lower, you're going to get some more of those mechanical sounds in it. And then for the hammers, this is how loud, how much of the hammers you're going to hear inside the performance. And this adds, I guess you could say, more depth to it. Makes it sound maybe that much more real. So that's kind of cool. And then lastly here, the pedal. This is how much of the sustain pedal you will hear in the performance. So that is pretty much all the parameters within this plugin. You should pretty much know how to use it now, but obviously you want to hear what it sounds like. So what I did was I created a track of the same piano for all 5 presets, and then I have a 6-track over here, which has basically my mix up here of how I would treat this piano after I record it. So what we're going to do first is we're going to listen to the first preset here, which is called Intimate, and then we'll just go down the line here. Alright, so those are the 5 presets that exist within this plugin, along with a 6th one in which I customized and also did some processing after the plugin. So I'm really curious to know what you guys think of this plugin. I think this plugin is amazing. It is probably the best virtual piano that I have. If you are going to do anything that is obviously cinematic, any slow songs, I don't think this would be a great piano if you're trying to play really fast parts. So keep that in mind. This is not a rock piano. This is not a classical piano, things where you're playing quick like Beethoven or whatever like that. It's just a really nice piano that can hold out notes, play notes here and there, add texture. I mean, I love it. What I played for you is actually the introduction to a pop piano song I'm writing. Well, maybe it's a little more rock, but yeah, so you can see that it is definitely multi-genre, and it can do a lot for your music. So again, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of this piano. Also, let me know if you like the piano part I recorded. I'm kind of curious to know what you guys think of it. So if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell to know when I have new videos coming out. So with that being said, until the next video, I will see you guys later, and peace out.